Welcome to my YouTube channel, Family Drama Files. Please like, share, subscribe for more emotional videos.
18 months after, my daughter was buried. I believed the hardest part of my life was over. Every month, I quietly mailed $1,100 to my son-in-law, so my two young grandchildren would never go without food, clothes, or a safe home. Then, one ordinary afternoon, the post office clerk placed a small package in my hands. I looked down and my heart stopped. My daughter's full name was written across the box in the handwriting. I knew better than my own. The shipping label said it had been mailed only 6 days earlier from Tucson, Arizona. In that moment, everything I believed about her death began to fall apart. My name is Alden Mercer. I am 71 years old, and until that day, I thought grief had already taken everything from me. My daughter, Ilara, was the brightest light in our family. She married young, built a quiet life with her husband, Nolan, and together they raised two wonderful children. When I lost her 18 months ago, what everyone called a tragic accident, I promised myself I would never let my grandchildren suffer because of it. Nolan struggled financially. At least, that was what he told me. Every month without fail, I mailed him $1,100. I never asked for receipts. I never questioned him. I simply believed I was helping my grandchildren. Life became a routine of silence, visits to the cemetery, and monthly trips to the post office. Then everything changed. The clerk smiled and handed me a package that had been waiting behind the counter. She said someone accidentally placed it in the wrong mailbox. The moment I saw the handwriting, my hands began to shake. It was Ilara's. Inside the package was an old silver necklace that had belonged to her grandmother. There was also a short handwritten note. Dad, if you are reading this, then something finally went wrong. Those words made no sense. The letter continued. Please do not trust Nolan. If I disappear, nothing happened the way they will tell you. Follow the storage key. My entire body went cold. Wrapped inside the letter was a tiny brass key with a faded number. The next morning, I drove to Tucson. The storage unit had been prepaid years earlier. When the manager unlocked the door, I expected boxes of old family memories. Instead, I found folders filled with bank statements, copies of insurance policies, photographs, and a flash drive. The flash drive contained dozens of video recordings. In the final recording, Ilara looked directly into the camera. She explained, she had discovered Nolan had secretly accumulated massive gambling debts. He had convinced her to take out life insurance policies worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. She became afraid after learning someone had been following her. She recorded everything because she feared no one would believe her. If something happened, the official report had called her death an accident. But the evidence inside that storage unit told a completely different story. Even worse, the bank records revealed something heartbreaking. Very little of the money I had sent each month had ever reached my grandchildren. Most of it disappeared into gambling websites and luxury purchases. I felt sick. For 18 months, I believed I was protecting my family. Instead, I had unknowingly financed the man who betrayed my daughter's memory. I immediately hired an attorney and contacted investigators. The evidence reopened the case. Financial crimes were uncovered. Insurance fraud followed. Then, investigators found enough evidence to challenge the original findings surrounding Ilara's death. The truth finally began to surface. Months later, my grandchildren came to live with me. For the first time since losing their mother, they laughed without fear. One evening, my oldest grandchild handed me the same silver necklace. She smiled and said, Mom always said you would know what to do when the time came. I looked toward the sunset and whispered that I had finally kept my promise. Not because I solved every mystery, but because I made sure her children were finally safe. Sometimes the smallest package carries the biggest truth. Grief can hide the truth. Love can uncover it. One forgotten package changed everything and exposed a secret that had remained buried for 18 months. Grief can hide the truth. Love can uncover it. One forgotten package changed everything and exposed a secret that had remained buried for 18 months. What began as a father's quiet act of love became a journey that uncovered betrayal, deception, and the truth no one wanted revealed. In the end, justice was not found by chance. It was found because a father refused to ignore the impossible. Some promises never die, and some truths will always find their way home, no matter how deeply they have been buried.